TLDR, I feel like I'm too old to be dealing with paranoia about girls and DMs and inappropriate texts and all that, especially when I'm 34 and want something serious that leads to a family. I need to trust my partner. My boyfriend and I are in our mid-30s. We've been dating a year. He joined some recreational sports this summer and has been talking about his teammates frequently. Last weekend I asked to charge my phone on his charger, so I pulled his phone off the charger to put mine in, and I saw a name. Felicia. I can't see what the message said because it needs to be unlocked. I thought it was odd that this girl that he just met from baseball was texting him directly, so I checked his public Instagram on a gut feeling. They are following each other already too, which is totally fine normally, right? Except he didn't follow any of his other new teammates, male or female. I looked through her profile and there's so many thirst traps. Pics of her in lingerie etc. The cherry on top is that she is also gorgeous. After I felt sad, but I did it to myself because I wanted to play FBI agent. So I come to his house to see him this weekend. His iPad lights up while he's in the bathroom. iPad and phone are connected and I peek. I can see who messages him and what they say right on the lock screen. It is not hidden like the iPhone. I guess he has not opened his iPad for at least a day because I'm seeing Instagram DMs from Felicia. They were chatting back and forth past midnight. I can only see her responses from the home screen, which she says things like, "Oh, I'm not sure what my favorite song is. What happened with your dad anyway? Is he still around? So why haven't you moved in with your girlfriend yet?" She asked him how much money he makes, and then at approximate 1 AM she goes, "OMG, it's almost 1, go to sleep." Haha. Troublemaker. They just met. Keep in mind we always say goodnight around 10 to 11 PM because he gets up at 6 AM for work. I messaged him that night at around 11 PM and he didn't respond, so I assumed he was sleeping. Why would he not be? Is it straight up cheating? No. But I think it's inappropriate. Am I wrong? I just have alarm bells going off because I'm imagining myself married to this dude, maybe a couple babies, and I'm at my most vulnerable state mentally and need him the most. And if this happened at that point I would spiral, I think. Is this something we can work through, or is this a character flaw? Or are we just mismatched? I'm wondering if I'm being paranoid or jealous and maybe I should work on that. I don't want either of us to make excuses, so I think that's why I want to talk to strangers on the internet. I don't trust my mind and decision making right now. I don't know what the right thing is. My ex did a very similar thing to me. He started chatting with a coworker at first, presumably about difficulties at work, but then at some point it changed, and he went to her house to hang out with her. I didn't know about any of this, and ultimately I found out. We broke up, and she moved in a week later. Not saying that's something your boyfriend would do, but just be careful. I would consider what he's doing emotional cheating, and to me, that's almost worse, because he's developing a relationship with this girl, without you. Put yourself first, because he won't. Don't waste any more of your time with a one-sided love. OMG, what the heck, he's telling you he's gone to sleep, while he still stayed up past 12 AM talking to another girl, and didn't respond to you. That would be a deal breaker for me. I'm in my 30s as well, and I don't put up with much, especially a girl who purposely shows herself in lingerie, as if she's trying to thirst trap your boyfriend, and it is weird that he only follows her on IG, and not his other teammates. Does he think that's appropriate to do when in a serious relationship? I'd just leave, because if you let him get away with it this time he'll think he can do it again. Your instinct is right. Believe it. I think you know what this is, but you're hoping against the odds that it isn't. It is. At the very least it's some kind of emotional affair. He's loving the rush of someone new. I was in a very similar situation, and despite everything I decided to look past these infidelities, but over time they began to chip away at me, and then the relationship. If he can't tell you about this new friend, if he's not responding to you, and making you think he's gone to bed, he's being shady. I think it's worth the discussion, because I don't get the feeling that you want to leave yet, which is fine. But there needs to be just one discussion about this, and if he continues on the same way leaving you out of the loop, you need to go. For me the trust would already be broken. I don't want to date someone who wants someone else. I don't want to date someone who is okay with fueling their feelings for someone else. Your intuition is not wrong. He's in the getting to know her stage. They are both clearly interested. He has been in bed messaging her, seen your message pop up, and ignored you to keep talking to her. You are an afterthought now. This doesn't seem like a man who will settle down with you and give you the life you want. He's crushing, and it sounds like they are in the first stages of a falling for each other. The late night texting while ignoring you? All obvious. I'm really sorry. If your relationship hasn't gotten serious, and that's what you're wanting, it's because he hasn't made it serious. And now we see why. Even if he hasn't technically done anything, he's sticking his toe in the water, shopping around, keeping his options open. Is this what you deserve? Trust your gut. Don't give up your power to decide for your own life because you're desperate to have him or your idea of him. They seem to be different based on this post. To me and in my relationship with my boyfriend, this would no doubt be cheating. However, if you guys have slightly different boundaries, or if this wasn't a clear boundary, then perhaps it isn't full on cheating for you guys, but for sure it's inappropriate to say the least. Yeah, definitely a gray area technically, no nudes, no romance. But a clear intimacy that isn't acceptable in most monogamous relationships, and very much seems to be mirroring early dating days text patterns. This does not pass the sniff test. I wouldn't even talk to him. I'd just up and end it, because at 30 something I feel like I shouldn't need to explain why this is inappropriate. You know this is cheating. You've been together a year and he's already scoping out new pastures at the first opportunity. Is this what you want for your future? I know everyone is saying talk to him, but honestly he knows what he's doing is wrong, so I'm not sure what a conversation will accomplish. Don't waste your time on someone who's not willing to waste their time on you. I would be done at this point. Don't wait for him to tell you he wants out. Graciously bow out now. I'd tell him that you're not okay with it as you have posted here, and if he makes a big fuss about it, then end the relationship. If he really loved you, he wouldn't have a problem cutting her off and keeping contact only at the events. If he loved you at all, he wouldn't have kept her a secret from you. Maybe it's just me, but I'm in my 30s, and I have no kind of patience for this sneaky behavior. The fact that he ignored your text, but continued messaging her till 1 AM is a major piss off. That shows where his priorities lie. And asking how much money he makes. Yeah, let him have fun with that one. She sounds like a winner. He's texting another woman late at night and not responding to you. Maybe he wants you to think he's asleep. My partner did this for years before I actually found out what he was really doing. I was never insecure, so I saw no issues with him talking to women or having female friends. Turns out he had an emotional affair with someone, and she knew he was married the whole time. But this is very suspicious. Proceed with caution. If it were me, I'd try to gather a little more information before confronting him and saving the proof to your phone. Take screenshots and send it to yourself, so he can't gaslight you later. Good luck. Yes, you are justified in being uncomfortable with this. He isn't technically cheating, but it certainly seems to imply that he's not that serious about you. Yes, sometimes men and women really can be just friends, but men who want to make sure there is no misunderstanding about their intentions are careful about maintaining boundaries with female friends to avoid anyone getting the wrong idea. The way he's talking to her sounds to me like the kind of getting to know you banter you'd do with a potential romantic interest. Personally, I think at age 34 I wouldn't want to waste time trying to see if this guy can repair this breach of trust. Let him go and focus on finding someone who wants the same things you do. You don't have to wait until you have clear proof he cheated to say you're not going to put up with this. Yeah, F*** that doesn't mean you're mismatched, but you're not overreacting. The fact he's replying to her and not you is fucking bullshit. You don't need to leave, but like every issue in every relationship, talk about it. If he sees you in the same light, he'll iron it out. If he doesn't, you'll break up. Polarize. Don't sit there passively. The result of doing that will just create avoidable problems over the next few months, and you'll end up avoidant, bitter and broken up anyway. Relationships require work. Nothing is black and white. Talk and communicate. Being face first with your feelings is the key to success. I'd just tell him what I saw and how it hurt me. That I wanted him to put a stop to their acquaintance because clearly the lines were blurred with her. If we respected my boundaries and we could talk about it like civil people, fine. I might give him a chance. But if there was any resistance, if he sulked because I snooped and tried to make it about him instead, and if he didn't stop writing her, I'd just tell him, okay, listen, you know what you're doing isn't right and you just won't admit it. I deserve more than a boyfriend that behaves like a teenager. We're done, and leave. Don't take him back. Y'all don't have the same values. The sad and harsh reality of knowing a relationship/friendship is over when you don't want it to be. By Felicia. Seriously, ask to see his phone. His reaction should tell you all you need to know. As someone else said, it tracks like he is having an emotional affair, which the definition of is a bond between two people that mimics or matches the closeness and emotional intimacy of a romantic relationship, while not being physically consummated or non-sexual intimacy with someone other than your partner, in such a way that violates their trust and expectations.